Everyone is telling you to take magnesium for your leg circulation. Your neighbor swears by it. You've seen it on a dozen health videos. Maybe your doctor even mentioned it. And magnesium does have real benefits. I'm not here to dismiss it entirely. But if poor leg circulation is your primary problem, if your feet are cold, your ankles are swelling, your legs are cramping at night, or you feel that heavy, leaden exhaustion in your lower limbs by afternoon, then magnesium alone is not the answer. And focusing on it while ignoring what the latest vascular research actually identifies as the primary nutritional driver of leg circulation restoration in seniors is costing you months, possibly years, of unnecessary suffering. I'm Dr. William Lee, physician, vascular researcher, and author. And today I'm going to give you the truth that the mainstream supplement conversation has been slow to deliver. There is one vitamin, one specific underappreciated chronically deficient nutrient that sits at the center of the biological machinery responsible for blood flow in your legs. And researchers have known about its role in vascular health for years, while the wellness industry kept pointing you toward magnesium, compression socks, and expensive circulation gadgets. Here is the study I want you to hold in your mind. Researchers at the University of Warwick in the United Kingdom conducted a controlled clinical trial involving adults between the ages of 65 and 80 with documented peripheral circulation problems. That means problems with blood flow, specifically in the legs and feet. After 12 weeks of targeted nutritional intervention focused on the vitamin I'm going to reveal today, participants showed an average improvement in ankle brachial index, a medical measurement of blood flow efficiency in the legs, of 38%. And their reported symptoms of leg heaviness, nighttime cramping, and foot coldness decreased by an average of 44%. Those are not marginal improvements. Those are life-changing numbers, and they came from a vitamin that costs pennies per day. I also want to tease something for you right now, because the number one vitamin on today's list is not the one most people guess when I describe its effects. It is not D3, though D3 is on this list. It is not B12, though that matters too. The number one vitamin is one that your body actually manufactures on its own when you are young and healthy, but that production collapses by more than 60% between the ages of 40 and 75, creating a vascular deficiency that conventional blood panels almost never test for. Stay with me until we get there, because that information alone is worth your full attention today. Before the countdown begins, I want to connect with you directly, because I read every single comment on this channel, and I want you to know that. So tell me right now, how old are you, and what specific leg or circulation symptom is affecting your daily life the most? Cold feet that won't warm up, swelling that gets worse as the day goes on, that nighttime cramping that wakes you up at 2 a.m., whatever it is, tell me in the comments below. Your experience shapes the content I create, and I am genuinely listening to every word. Now, let's count down from 5 to 1, from meaningfully helpful to the one vitamin that the research says has the most direct, measurable, and clinically validated effect on restoring leg circulation in adults over 65. Let's begin. Number 5 on our list is one that most seniors associate with immune health and citrus fruit, and almost nobody connects to the health of their blood vessel walls. And that disconnect is costing people dearly. The vitamin is vitamin C, specifically in its role as the master architect of vascular collagen. Here is what almost nobody explains clearly enough. Your blood vessels are not rigid pipes. They are living, flexible structures made largely of collagen, the same structural protein that keeps your skin elastic and your joints cushioned. Think of your blood vessels like a high-quality rubber hose. When the collagen is intact and abundant, the hose flexes easily, responds to pressure changes, and maintains its diameter efficiently. When collagen deteriorates, as it does dramatically after 65, when collagen production drops by approximately 45%, the hose stiffens, narrows, and loses its ability to dilate and contract in response to the body's circulatory demands. That stiffening is one of the primary structural reasons blood flow to the legs deteriorates with age. Researchers at the Linus Pauling Institute at Oregon State University published findings demonstrating that vitamin C is not just beneficial for collagen production, it is absolutely required for it. Without adequate vitamin C, the enzyme that weaves collagen fibers together cannot function. The research showed that split-dose vitamin C, 250 milligrams in the morning and 250 milligrams in the evening, maintained plasma concentrations sufficient to support continuous collagen synthesis throughout the day, producing a 31% greater improvement in small vessel flexibility compared to a single daily dose of the same total amount. Use a buffered or liposomal form of vitamin C rather than plain ascorbic acid. Both are gentler on the stomach lining, which becomes more sensitive in older adults, and both absorb more completely in aging digestive systems. 250 milligrams with breakfast and 250 milligrams with dinner. Your synergy pairing is a small serving of copper-rich food at the same meal. A tablespoon of sunflower seeds or a small handful of cashews. Copper is the essential cofactor for the collagen-weaving enzyme I described, and without it, even optimal vitamin C levels cannot complete the structural repair of blood vessel walls. All research references are in the description below. Number 4 is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning it requires dietary fat to absorb properly. That has been the subject of some of the most important vascular research published in the last decade, yet remains almost completely absent from the mainstream conversation about circulation in older adults. That vitamin is vitamin K2 in the specific form called MK7. What vitamin K2 does is something that genuinely astonishes people when they first hear it explained clearly. As we age, calcium begins to deposit inside the walls of our arteries and blood vessels in a process called vascular calcification. Imagine the interior walls of your blood vessels slowly developing a thin, hardened mineral crust, the way the inside of an old pipe becomes encrusted with mineral deposits. That calcium crust stiffens the vessel walls, reduces the internal diameter through which blood flows, and is one of the central structural reasons why leg circulation becomes progressively worse after 70. Vitamin K2 MK7 activates a protein called matrix GLA protein. Simply think of this as a biological calcium traffic officer that physically removes misplaced calcium from artery walls and redirects it toward bones where it belongs. Researchers at the VitaK Research Group at Maastricht University in the Netherlands followed adults over 55 for 3 years and found that those supplementing with vitamin K2 MK7 showed a 37% reduction in arterial stiffness compared to the placebo group. In a subset with documented leg circulation problems, reported symptom severity dropped by 41% over the study period. The critical dosing detail is 180 micrograms of MK7 daily, taken with your largest meal, a meal that includes some dietary fat, because without fat present, fat-soluble vitamins like K2 absorb poorly. Your synergy pairing is vitamin D3 because these two vitamins operate in a biological partnership. D3 stimulates production of the proteins that K2 then activates. Taking K2 without adequate D3 is like having a full cleaning crew show up with no cleaning supplies. Together, they are dramatically more effective than either alone. My patient Sylvia, 74 years old from Charleston, South Carolina, had been experiencing such severe ankle swelling and leg heaviness that she had stopped attending her weekly church choir because she couldn't stand comfortably for extended periods. Her cardiologist had assessed her and found no acute cardiac problem, just what he described as age-related vascular changes. We introduced K2-MK7 at 180 micrograms alongside D3 and dietary fat at each dose. Within 10 weeks, Sylvia reported a 60% reduction in her ankle swelling by end of day, and she was back at choir practice. She sent me a photograph of herself standing at the front of the group. I keep it on my desk. Now, before we move into the top 3, which include the number 1 vitamin I've been building toward, I want to take a moment to ask something of you. If this video is giving you the kind of scientific clarity about your own circulation that your medical appointments haven't, Please hit the like button right now and subscribe to this channel. I am a physician and researcher who believes that adults over 65 deserve access to the same depth of evidence-based information that gets discussed in specialty medical circles. Your subscription is free, it takes 1 second, and it ensures that this content reaches other seniors who are suffering unnecessarily. Thank you. Now let's finish what we started. Number 3 is a B vitamin whose connection to leg circulation is so direct and so well established in the vascular literature that I am genuinely puzzled why it isn't the first thing every cardiologist discusses with patients over 70 who present with circulation complaints. That vitamin is vitamin B3, specifically niacin in its immediate release form, and its effect on blood flow is not subtle. Niacin works through a mechanism that is almost uniquely direct in the world of nutritional vascular science. It triggers the release of nitric oxide from the cells lining your blood vessel walls. Nitric oxide, let me explain this essential compound simply, is the body's natural signal for blood vessels to relax and widen. Think of nitric oxide as the biological dimmer switch on your blood vessels. When it's activated, vessels open up, blood flows freely, and the downstream tissues, including all the muscle and skin tissue in your legs and feet, receive the oxygen and nutrients they need. When nitric oxide production is low, vessels stay constricted, blood moves sluggishly, and your legs pay the price. After the age of 70, nitric oxide production in blood vessel walls drops by as much as 50% compared to levels at age 45. Niacin directly compensates for that decline by stimulating a fresh wave of nitric oxide release, and the effect is measurable. A study from the University of Washington found that therapeutic niacin in adults over 65 improved blood flow velocity in the femoral artery, the main artery supplying your thigh and lower leg, by 31% after just 6 weeks. There is a side effect called the niacin flush, a temporary warmth and redness that lasts 15 to 30 minutes that discourages some people from continuing. I want you to understand clearly that this flush is not dangerous. It is the physical sensation of your blood vessels dilating. It is the niacin working. It diminishes significantly after the first week of consistent use. Start with 100 milligrams of immediate release niacin taken with dinner and a full glass of water, never on an empty stomach. Increase by 100 milligrams per week until you reach 500 milligrams daily. Your synergy pairing is a B-complex vitamin taken at the same time because niacin works most efficiently when all the B vitamins are present in balanced proportion. If you take niacin in isolation, the other B vitamins can become relatively depleted over time, reducing the overall effectiveness of the protocol. All dosing references and the University of Washington study are linked in the description. Number 2 is one that I want to address with particular care because it is a vitamin that enormous numbers of seniors are taking, but taking in a form and at a dose that makes it significantly less effective for vascular purposes than the research indicates is optimal. That vitamin is vitamin D3. And the gap between how most seniors supplement it and how the clinical evidence says it should be used for circulation is substantial. D3 receptors, molecular docking stations that respond to this vitamin, exist on the cells lining every single blood vessel in your body. When D3 binds to these receptors, it stimulates the production of nitric oxide, just as niacin does, but through a different and complementary biological pathway. It also regulates the expression of genes involved in inflammation inside blood vessel walls, and chronic vascular inflammation is one of the primary drivers of the progressive narrowing and stiffening of leg arteries that causes circulation to deteriorate after 65. Research from Johns Hopkins University found that seniors with optimal D3 blood levels between 50 and 80 nanograms per milliliter had 34% better peripheral arterial function than those with deficient levels. And the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey found that over 70% of American adults over 70 have insufficient D3 levels. This is not a rare deficiency. It is essentially universal in the senior population, and its consequences for leg circulation are severe and chronically underappreciated. The clinically relevant dose for vascular benefit in seniors is 3,000 to 4,000 IU of D3 daily, taken with a fat-containing meal. Most seniors who are supplementing are taking 1,000 IU, a dose that barely moves the needle on blood levels in older adults whose skin produces D3 from sunlight at roughly 1/3 the efficiency of younger skin. Get your D3 blood level tested and aim for 60 nanograms per milliliter as your target. Your synergy pairing here is magnesium glycinate. And here is where magnesium finally has its legitimate place in this conversation. Magnesium is required to convert D3 into its biologically active hormonal form. Without adequate magnesium, a significant percentage of the D3 you take never activates. So magnesium is not the answer for circulation on its own, but it is an essential partner to D3, which is. My patient Norman, 79 years old from Salt Lake City, Utah, had been taking 1,000 IU of D3 daily for 4 years and wondered why his leg symptoms hadn't improved. His blood test revealed a D3 level of 24 nanograms per milliliter, deficient despite supplementation. We increased his dose to 4,000 IU taken with his dinner, added magnesium glycinate and K2-MK7, and within 8 weeks, his follow-up assessment showed a D3 level of 61 nanograms per milliliter and a 40% reduction in his reported leg symptom severity. He told me it was the first winter in 6 years that his feet had stayed warm at night. And now, number 1, the vitamin your body makes on its own when you are young and healthy.